Alrighty, welcome everybody to the podcast. Hope you're having an absolutely lovely day. This is the TPP Podcast. It's dedicated to the console community. Currently have some fantastic guests that are sitting down and chatting with us. We'd like you to get involved with the podcast. You can always drop what you'd like to see and talk about in the Discord. There's a dedicated channel to any of the subjects or any matters that you'd like to get involved with. And of course, all the details for the guys that we have on the show. Also, if you'd like to be on the show, you're more than welcome to jump onto the casting couch and drop your details. We'll be able to go from there. This week we have a couple of our guests. We have Monkey Juice, aka Aussie Pride from Survival Addicts. We have Gxblyn from Gxblyns Arcade. And we have the Twitch streamer Arc Trooper Echo, also known as Evil James. Gentlemen, how you going, alright?
Yeah, good.
All good, man.
Alright, we'll start.
How are you doing today?
We're going pretty well, my friend. We're going pretty well. We'll start with Mr. James. James, how you going? Nope, your mic's gone again. When we're doing game chat, it's sometimes it can sometimes corrupted with void. All right, give me a second.
I heard you.
Yeah, go. Do I have to give you this?
Yeah, might have to check
Yeah,
it.
he's gonna have to check his temperature. All right, we'll talk to the yellow man himself, Mr. Gxblyn. How you going?
Oh, I'm doing well.
You doing well?
Pleased to be here with you in this fine grassy field.
That's it. That's what we like to do. We like to get out in the open bush and explore the many locations on Chinaris. Gxblyn's been in the console game for pretty much as long as I am. Have plenty of outstanding and long-term servers. Gxblyn, how long have you been rolling on the Dayz? How long have you been involved with it?
Well, my name is Gxblyn, and I'm here to say I've been playing Dayz since 2020.
2020, eh?
Yeah.
And how long you been rolling servers?
I fired up my first one around it was like November of 2020. I want to say Thanksgiving time. It was funny actually. I had been interested. I'd never run a server before. I'd been interested in trying. Been playing on a few custom ones, and I got really hammered the night before Thanksgiving, and I woke up the next morning and I had rented 2 servers. So
That's how it started.
got me in the game,
Yeah.
Good old drunken personalities that push you more and more into doing things you may not wanted to do.
Warden didn't like my little rap. I thought I was channeling like a little Eminem there.
No, it was good. I'll tell you what, very impressed. Very impressed.
Oh, what I miss?
With having so many servers and being involved in the community so often, how many hours do you put into Dayz on average in a week?
Well, I've got 3 active servers right now, and they're kind of on autopilot lately, so pretty minimal time investment lately. But those servers have been around for a while. They're kind of established, so I don't really have to do much. And I have been putting a little time into like the Discord aspect of it. But maybe 10 hours a week or so, just in general.
Just doing maintenance.
Keeping up with things,
Keeping up with things, tidying things up.
Just keeping your finger on the pulse, so to speak. But I like to play Daisy quite a bit, so I probably play just as much, maybe more 20 hours a week or so lately. Depending on what servers I'm into, you know what I mean?
Yeah, depending on how much time you get dragged into it and get lost in the game, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah, like I don't really have like admin issues and stuff like that because I just have basically 3 deathmatch servers, and so there's really not much that I have to do
Just make sure it's up and running,
on
kill
those.
feeds are running.
Yeah, and I just actually just opted in on Teabag's kill feed and stuff, so I've got that up on all the servers, and I've been liking that a lot.
And what servers are you running? Can you name them for us?
Yeah, right now, got Prison Riot still, and Clumtown PvP, and Death Row PvP. And they've been around for a good stretch of time. I'm working on Downhill 2, but that's become a bit larger of a project. I keep getting more ideas, so I'm going to invest some time before I actually roll that out.
That's it. That Dayz editor can be a very creative. Once again, you can delve a lot of time, like the game, into it. I just recently
Yeah.
myself did the same thing, delved into editor. We won't be playing much anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, too, I've been trying to behave myself these days, you know what I mean? Back in the day, I would just, like, take a bunch of pseudoephedrine and just crank out a server, like, in a day.
Yeah, just punch it out.
And it'd be awesome. I'd just stay up, for like 36 hours and just hand jam the code. And like I'd play it the next weekend. I'd play the server. I wouldn't even remember like putting it together. I'd be like, damn, this is pretty good.
That's it. That alter ego who started it all still codes like a badass.
Well, that was the whole half goblin thing. It was kind of a Jekyll and Hyde type situation. But I guess I just gave it up and just went full goblin.
Became the goblin.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Mr. James, you get your mic working?
You can hear me?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, sweet.
Arc Trooper Echo 7 is a Twitch streamer who
Yes, sir.
rolls on a multitude of games. He plays Dayz. He's currently rolling State of Decay at the moment. But welcome to the show. How you going?
Doing good today. How are you, mister?
I'm going not too bad. How long have you been playing Dayz for?
Since it came out for beta for Xbox, so I guess like 3 years ago.
The old when it first launched, the preview. I think a lot of us jumped on at that stage and had to put up with the corruption that it was.
Nothing like it.
Yeah, 100%. And how often do you play Dayz a week over the different streams you do, and of course working and stuff like that?
I guess it really just all depends on the week. Maybe 15 hours.
15 hours a week. And is there any particular servers you roll on, or you like to just freelance across the community?
I kind of try to do official a good bit, and then if I'm feeling up to it, try and find a hardcore server to play.
Very, very nice. I'm a big fan of hardcores myself. Well, Mr. James, we do welcome you to the podcast. Let's handsome devil up here. All right, Mr. Monkey Juice,
Oh, yeah.
aka Aussie Pride, is the owner or part owner of Survival Addicts. How you doing, my friend? Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, good mate. And yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. Well, how long you?
It's early, Greedy.
I know it's early for you. It's early for me
Gaming
too.
all night, bro.
We were up gaming and then had about 5 hours sleep and come back to the podcast. Welcome to the Greedy Peasants world. That's what we do. Sleepers for the week. Speaking of playing the game to all hours of the night, how long have you been playing Dayz for on console?
On console since preview, but I was on Arma 2 when it was the mod there. Give it up there, give up PC, and then yeah, as soon as it come out on console, I was like, oh yeah, got suck it in with a mate, and yeah, been playing ever since.
Yeah, I think a lot,
Yeah,
a lot
on
of
and
us
off
got.
for a while, but
Obviously, you got to have that change of games. It's part of it. You can.
oh yeah, yeah,
Variety's the spice of life, I believe they say.
oh yes.
Now that you're heavily addicted and involved, especially with the servers Survival Addicts, Livonia and Chinaris, how many hours do you put into it a week?
It's like a second job now, at least 30 to 40. Um, between all testing and whatever, and then jump on and actually play. Yeah, at least 30 to 40 hours a week.
It is definitely having a couple of
the moment.
servers at the at the moment. Definitely, and especially with update rolling
Yeah.
through, it does get a bit more busier.
Yeah.
And especially having
yeah.
a family and work and all that things on top, it does get pretty full on. But 30 to 40 hours, you put quite a lot of time into it.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Got to test the servers. Got to make sure that they're running so that everyone enjoys it just as much as what I do and whoever else. Like enjoy the servers.
Yeah, that's right. As a owner ourselves, we want to make sure that the people that play on the server as well as ourselves enjoy what we make. It's our little baby sometimes.
Plus other servers as well. Yeah.
Get a little spice of life, of course. Well, welcome to the podcast. All right, gentlemen. Our first subject is going to be, of course, the update, and I guess what's happened with the update. We all know when it comes to all the updates that there is a period where we need to be patient with them and let them sort out their. I don't know if it's old code into new code or the update, but currently we've got a few glitches in the game. We'll start with Survival Addicts. How's the new update affected your server?
Cherno massively. Due to the fact that it's a full hardcore survival server. First thing you need is pretty much a stone, and nothing's coming out. So we've just virtually opened it up, changed a lot of things around so people can get on there and just muck around at the moment. But because we don't have massive mods or anything, what we've got is our trader store. So
Yep, the rock issue is definitely.
running on the server.
Yeah, it's definitely a pain in the ass, especially when it comes to survival who rely on that first stage of,
Oh yeah.
caveman style.
Yes.
Yeah, caveman style start-ins where you have to get a stone and get a fire going and keep yourself warm. Would be very painful.
But Livonia, we haven't had no troubles on there because we've got no mods or nothing on there, no JSON files or nothing, so it seems to be running okay. We're doing a big mad test run at the moment, but people are jumping on and not finding it too bad, so issues with affecting that. I think because we're survival, we don't have as much in the server, so I don't think it's put load on whatever's going wrong.
Yeah, so you think a cleaner server has been your advantage.
Yeah, so we're able to run as normal pretty much.
And what about you, Goblin, with the latest updates? Have you had any issues with your deathmatch servers?
No issues that I know of. I heard about the stacking and that, so I hopped on and didn't seem to be having any problem. I don't really use the JSON file to spawn loot, so the buildings seem to be fine. So I didn't really notice anything too different. I did, well, again, Teabag had mentioned that they changed the toggles for a lot of the gameplay file stuff
Yep.
to be true false versus 1 and 0. So I think, and I haven't updated mine yet, so I think a lot of that stuff is probably just disabled, you know, some of the newer features. So that's the thing is like I've just over time, if they introduce something that's problematic, I just try to just turn it off if possible. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah, shut it out your system so until they fix it.
yeah, like that movement, the strafing and the weird kind of jangly movement. I just deleted that altogether, and it defaults to like to the normal movement, which I feel is much better. Um, I mean, to be honest, I also don't really do much at the point of the update. I usually wait a little while because the last time I invested a lot of time, I did like a big old update to downhill, and that was when they were rolling out the vehicle changes.
Yep.
And then I hopped on the first day when they released the update, and I was kind of furious because the vehicles were running so crappy, like it just kept flipping and crashing everywhere, and I'm like, oh my god, I invested, you know, days and days to make the server work, and it's all about cars, and now the cars don't work, you know, at all, and I was like pretty upset, and you know, I'm like commenting on like some of the discords and things about how much I hate Bohemia and all this stuff, and then they fixed it the next day, and I was like,
I'm sorry.
kind of embarrassed. No, it's funny. It is funny. It's like the cars ran better than ever, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, I need to just freaking. If it's not something that's essential, I'm not going to even do anything, and just kind of see what happens and sidestep all the, you know what I mean, all the nonsense. And that philosophy seems to have worked out pretty well.
Yeah, 100%.
Plus, there wasn't really that much to add. I mean, nobody was really clamoring to put on like, you know, those mime masks or anything.
Yeah,
So-
what was there, 6 masks or something like that? 6 masks that came,
Yeah,
that
it's like
came
a-
in.
You know, I'm a little bit on the older side, but I understand memes and all that. So like that one, when I saw that, it was just like that meme. It's like nobody, right? And then it's just like nothing. And then
Yep.
it's like Bohemia, mime masks. You know? Like okay,
Yeah,
that's
I,
cool.
I don't know the angle they went into. Maybe they just tried to have something in the back pockets that they thought they'd produce and throw out to the crowd. But yeah, it was definitely a weird item to come out. But hopefully they bring out more apparel, more clothes, more things like that to add into the server.
Yeah, and I don't mind or anything, but you know, um, that wasn't exactly high on my wish list. But hey, you know,
That's it. You got
each
your
their
car
own.
wish. You got your car wish. You already had your one go.
Yeah. The cars are a lot better. Now they just need to give me a bicycle, and I'll keep quiet for a while.
Yeah, 100%. We'll all keep quiet for a while. Just the first stage
Yeah.
bicycle would be wicked.
Yeah, man, it would
And a
make
boat.
sense. I mean, yeah, some kind of watercraft would be awesome too.
Yeah, they've got to get the
I
rowboats
mean, if you think
out.
about it, the odds of a functioning bicycle are way higher than the odds of there being a functioning vehicle in this like world, you know.
Yep.
But you know,
We'll see. We'll see what they bring out. With the 1.2 update, James, is there anything that's tickled your fancy, especially when it comes to like the hardcore side of it and the water weighing down and the extra meat from the hunting side of it?
I haven't been on too much since 1.2. I have been, and so for the hunting aspect of it, I do like that, the more meat, because thought that it was a little bit unrealistic, the amount that you got. It was kind of little.
Yep.
But They've definitely fixed that. But in terms of an update, I think at least gameplay-wise, it's definitely been one of the better ones with bugs. I haven't experienced too many. I just play a lot of official and stuff like that, and it hasn't been too terrible as updates have gone in the past, especially with the movement ones. And
Yeah,
I think they
I
did a
suppose the
decent job on
JSON
this.
error doesn't affect really official, does it? Because there's no JSON files being really used.
No, yeah. I mean, when it comes to like the movement bugs and stuff like that, that's usually found mostly on community servers that still run the inertia. Official doesn't really do that very much. Like the inertia is like turned way down on those. There's not a lot of clipping and stuff like that in the walls and stuff anymore on official.
Yeah, well, I actually found running and the way the actual game flows and moves, especially with the quick slots and things like that, I find the game runs so much smoother now. I'm very impressed with movement speed, stamina, inventory, even moving items from one to another is just super quick, super smooth. I don't think they have fully fixed the ADS bug, but I had a couple of incidents there where I was getting attacked by Zeds. I'd swap out, and there was a delay, but just a slight delay between the swap out. I would be blocking, but the
Yeah,
zombie's still
I
kicking the
understand
crap
that.
out of me first hit. So it is much better. I will
Yeah, I
admit
know.
it is much better, and I haven't had it in a gunfight yet. Um, but yeah, I think we're waiting for the double hot fix to actually seeing what's going to happen with the game and see if they hold in that integrity of keeping it a nice running, flowing server. Is there anything you want to add into what you've enjoyed or liked about the new update?
Uh, no. I mean, I just think that Daisy, in terms of a game, has just been moving in a better and better direction. No matter what the bugs that it has are, it's definitely been moving in the right track. Even if it goes back a little bit before it goes forward, it keeps moving forward. I think we're going to be looking for a good year, at least in terms of development, at least from what I've seen.
Yeah, 100%. I think you're on the money there when it comes to good development and maybe a bit more focus on fixing the stability of the game and the little issues that we have.
I mean, at that point, you can worry about putting new stuff in and the new bugs that it'll bring in. Just fix all the old stuff first.
Yeah, and that's I think one of the issues. I think because the game isn't fully complete, they keep coming up with issues that they then bypass or do workarounds, and then the next update they try and take it on. And I think not being a fully released game and done it stage by stage by stage is, I guess, kept the popularity of the game going, but I think it's also been detrimental to it as well when it comes to the player base. But all right, we'll just see
Hey, James.
what the hot fix is.
James, would you punch me, please?
Hello.
Is stuck.
There you go.
See what happens when you
Oh,
play
thanks.
around.
Sorry, man. I can't help it. I get really restless.
You get
so
restless, 100%.
just
Fiddle
tell me
away.
to sit still. If you
No,
want me
yeah,
to,
fiddle
like, stop
away.
goofing around.
All right. Well, so the question I have to you guys, being long term survivors on Dayz, what keeps you coming back to the actual game? We'll go with James.
Well, what keeps bringing me back? I guess it's just the different ideas of what I can do, because Daisy isn't like just a one, like linear game. There's different ways to play it, so there's just different things you can come back and do over and over again. So whether or not it's PvP or if it's just messing around on official, it's just there's nothing quite like it. There's no game, at least on console, that comes quite near it in terms of open world, other people. Like I like interactions with people. So that's definitely one thing that brings me back. Is the interactions. You can't really get anything like it on any other game.
No, I definitely agree with that. It is very unique when it comes to the variety of things you can do, the ways you can play it, the different scenarios you can run. What
Yeah.
what about you, Monkey Juice? What keeps you what keeps you flowing on the Dayz juices?
Outlook of Dayz itself, interested to see where they're going, and just changes that they've made over the years, and looking forward to see what the outcome's going to be, and sticking with it and just enjoying the flow of what's going on.
The
On like
perspective of an
at
end
updates
game.
and whatever. Well, oh, well, yeah, and then the end of the completion of the game. Yeah, just keeping on with those updates and just seeing what they do there, see the changes, and that's what keeps me going is the changes that they make. Like because every 3 months or whatever we get an update or whatever. Sort of me and myself, I start getting a bit in that lull of not wanting to play, but then they're like, "Oh, we're coming out with an update," and it's like, "Oh, okay," and it gets me all excited again to see what they're doing. So it's like, yeah, and it just keeps that flow going, and it seems to be at that time when I'm in that lull, they bring out something.
They
It's
know.
like, oh, okay, yep, I want to see
They
this.
know.
Yeah, yeah. And,
Monkey Juice is starting to steer
and
off. Quick,
plus,
let's get an update out.
yeah, plus meeting other people, and ever since they brought out custom servers, that's been a real big changer for me. I was getting a bit bored with the old running around on official, doing the same old thing, making me wait a tizzy. Like that was end goal.
The repetitive.
Was, oh yeah, let's get a tizzy. Yeah, and then what am I going to do now? Oh, let's go back to the coast. Am I going to kill freshies or save them? Then they brought out the customizable side of things, and it's like, oh, okay, and then just looking at different servers and seeing what people are doing, and yeah, that's like roaming around and finding different things.
It's definitely
difference.
Yeah,
Difference in people's heads of what they come up with.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my interests. I like to see how other people's mind ticks when it comes to how you would like to see or the vision that you have of the game and how you'd like to put it into practice.
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a major point. What about you, Arc Trooper Echo? What keeps bringing you back to Dayz?
Yeah, well, like we were saying, the definitely interactions with people. There's nothing really quite like it in the sense of other games.
These all the people.
I met everybody. Met. Yeah, definitely. I mean, well, I'm half evil, so I like to decide what I'm going to do to somebody when I find them. It can either be good or bad. I mean, but I don't like to just kill people on sight. It has to be like something horrific, like throwing somebody off a cliff with their head egged or something.
Yep. Yeah.
But
like
I mean,
push
I
the
met
extremes.
everybody in the console call. That's how I started. Yeah, I met everybody on official, and I've been hanging out with you guys for 2 years now or so. It's just Dayz. There's nothing like it when it comes to like meeting people in the game.
Yeah, 100%. I've met a lot of people that I still keep in contact with and develop great friendships with, who still don't even play the game anymore. But I mean, we've still kept that friendship up due to the game, so I definitely get onto that. What about you, Goblin? What keeps you going on to Dayz?
Oh, you know what? Something funny. I didn't pick up that his name was Monkey Juice. So when you said, "Hey, let's start with you, Monkey Juice," I thought that was like you made up a new pet name for me.
If I can call you that if you like.
I thought maybe it was a reference to my banana suit.
No. which you are looking quite fine with.
What keeps me coming back? Kind of what James was saying, like, I'll play the heck out of game that I really like, and so I've played Dayz to death over and over again, and then start to get worn out, like dealing with like certain issues or the lack of certain things, and then I might venture off to some other game uh, to try to like find the features that I'm looking for. So like
Yep.
I was really irritated with vehicles. I wanted bicycles and stuff like that, and I found better, vehicle mechanics and bicycles and motorbikes in PUBG, right?
Yep.
So I kind of went off and played PUBG for a bit, but then after a while, I was like, I really don't like the battle royale. I mean, I don't mind playing a battle royale, but I don't want to always play that.
Yeah, the consistency of
Um,
battle royale repetitiveness.
yeah, like there's no chill factor, and so I was like, that's fun, but doesn't have the chill factor, and doesn't have the randomness and like James was saying with the official, like meeting people, just random people and hitting it off, or whatever. Um, doesn't have that. Doesn't have like so it doesn't have like as much of the social element. Um, so you come back. So it's like I play Dayz till I can't take it anymore. Then I go off and try to like find something better, and then I like miss all the good stuff about Dayz, and I come back, and sometime, and actually over the last year or year and a half, they've really made a lot of good updates. The game's really come along. On console, it's come along to where I wouldn't say it's like, you know, as far as the things it has that PC has, I think it's on par.
Yep.
It'd be nice if we could get more variety just of things, maps and all that, obviously, but as far as playability and stuff, I've looked far and wide, and I just can't find anything that compares to Dayz for what it's good at. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And,
correct.
I play on PC as well, just to enjoy like some of the other stuff that's out there. But even playing PC gets me kind of jazzed to come back and play on console too, because I don't know, I like the feel of Dayz on console better than PC personally. Um, just the feel of like your character and stuff. I don't know, it just feels more natural. But I played on exclusively on console for like 2 years before I ever tried PC Dayz, so this is just it comes natural to me, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it's a hell of a game, you know what I mean? And only thing about it, I feel is I think there's a lot of potential that's just not being tapped into. That it could be a lot more. And Arma Reforger kind of demonstrates that because they've got cross compatibility with PC mods and stuff on console on the Reforger, and that's made by the same people.
That's
So
exactly right. We don't know why
there's
it's not being imported across.
yeah, God damn it, Lemons, you need to talk some sense into these people.
That's exactly right. Get some. Let them know how the system wants to work.
That's our man on the inside.
That's it. 100%.
Not like James here. He's been on the inside of my butt all day here.
That got awkward really quick.
Well, that's just the goblin feel. So when it comes to the actual nitty gritty of the game,
You took everything I was doing the wrong way.
when it comes to weapons and stuff like that, what do you find is the best gun currently in the game, and the best gun for you, and why do you like that gun? What draws you to it?
Which contestant are you addressing? Or can we
Anyone?
just,
Yep,
like,
yep.
chime in?
You could chime in.
Who needs to come on down?
You guys are probably more into the guns than me. I'll throw it over to you guys to start it off.
What about Monkey Juice? You fire it away.
Depends on what server I'm doing and what I'm doing, but generally, say on a survival aspect, be some kind of hunting, like a savanna, tundra. something like that that's got a bit of power that's going to take a deer or something down, like pretty much, even if you don't get that headshot. Zombie wise, it'd have to be MK2, like that's press straight up to deal with it straight away. But a PvP aspect, I'd have to say the Lamas, due to its fire rate and the power. Yeah,
Yeah, nice. Just to make note, I hate the Lamas. Fucking hate that gun.
I just hate the sights. But
Yeah,
that's where you get a
100%.
hacksaw and cut it off straight away.
Yeah, but yeah, I just that drives me crazy. Let me remove part of the sight and let me cut something else off. What about you, James?
I don't know. It kind of all depends.
I mean, you're more of an
Like you were
official
saying, but
player.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, it's probably got to be a Tundra, just because I like the iron sights on it as well as with the scope. I don't know. And then I guess when it comes to something close range, any kind of shotgun, like a double barrel probably.
That's for clapping
I
those
don't
gear
like,
guys
I don't like
on the
big
coast.
guns.
You don't like
Yeah.
the AKs and stuff.
I mean, it's not that I don't like them. It's just that it's too much. Once you get something like that, it just feels like too much. You know what I mean? Especially like playing on official or something. If you're playing on a server where it's like you're meant to grind, yeah, but on official, just stick on the coast with a Tundra and a BK, and you're set.
That's it.
That's at least where I find the most fun in the game.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. A BK 133 and a BK 18. You could spend all day on the coast battling the similar geared people, getting the same sort of fight happening to and from, and just rehashing that over and over again.
Yeah.
I think
It's
that's
definitely
what.
the most fun, because when you're inland, yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
Yeah, because when you're inland and you're getting into a gunfight, at least on official, most people try and avoid other people when it comes to being inland. There's not a lot of gunfights that go on other than maybe at the airfield. It's just, if you really want to get the best out of Dayz gunfights, you just stick along the coast.
No, you're definitely 100% right on there. When it comes to no risk, balls to the wall, big shootouts, not just take up one sniper and then trek halfway around the map to try and counter them around the corner to try and find them. 100%. Mr. Goblin, what about you? What's your go-to weapon?
I'm kind of more of an official player these days myself, so like it's kind of like beggars can't be choosers kind of deal. But as far as I'm trying to think of if there's like a weapon where I get particularly happy to find one, you know what I mean? I'm kind of a big fan of the BK-43, just this stand-up, just double barrel shotgun, like long barrel, you know.
Yep.
I don't know, it's just trusty, you know what I mean, and satisfying, you know, just to blast somebody in the chest with one of those.
Yep. Lay them out, boom, boom.
Yeah, real satisfying, and ammo, you know, easy to come by. So I'm pretty happy to grab. I mean, it's actually if I have a double barrel and then I find like a pump, I'm kind of torn, you know. I'm like, I know I should take the pump, but I prefer the double barrel, you know.
Yeah, see, I'll bin that double barrel for the pump every day.
You'll bin it, yeah. You're supposed to, you know what I mean? It's just like, on my deathmatch servers, my favorite weapon to run around with is a scorpion, but I just wish that I had like 100-round clip for it, you know what I mean?
Yep. That's probably the best thing about. I mean, that scorpion does damage, but it just
Yeah.
does not have the capacity.
Yeah, it's just you just dump it and toss it, you know what I mean? But I just love the sound of it in just close range, just, you know. See, I'm a little like sadistic when it comes to PvP, so like I like using Scorpion or Sporter or something, like my philosophy is why shoot somebody once or twice when you can shoot them like 13 times, you know?
And guarantee it.
Yeah, and they're still, I mean, they go down, but you get to just like put 13 holes in them and watch them like jerk and flop around, you know what I mean, a dozen times. It's just like that much more satisfying.
Yeah, no, 100%
You know what I
agree
mean?
with that. 100% agree
So,
with that. That's one
a
of
lot
the
of people
appeals.
don't they're not fond of they're not fond of the Sporter, but I'm actually kind of keen on the Sporter myself. Even though, and I've probably died like I don't even know how many times because I've been running around with that stupid thing. But on the balance, I've gotten like heaps of satisfaction. You know what I mean? Of just like shooting every body part before somebody goes down.
Yeah. Well, if they end up getting you, you know they're dying of bleeding because they got 13 cuts on
Yeah,
them.
that's too. Yeah, yeah. They're like, oh, you know, look at this idiot with the Sporter, but it's like they have a death sentence. You know what I mean? They have like 6 cuts, so it's fine with me. I mean, I don't know. I have no regard for my life in this
Yeah, it's
game.
no value in the life when it comes to it.
Yeah, I mean, well, except on like official, like James was saying, I don't know. I probably run into PvP more than I should on official, but that's the thing too. I like as far as I don't really care what weapon it is. I love on official that you have to think about, you know, if you have like 3 bullets or something, and having to stretch those resources is like the best thing ever, you know.
Yeah, and
It's like
pulling off that kill that gains you 5 more bullets because you only had one.
yeah, it like makes it precious, you know. So you're just like, it's like, oh, I got a rusty IJ and a screwdriver, you know, and I got to take this person out. Like, how the hell am I gonna do this? You know. Sometimes it works out.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't.
So, you know, it's just like a normal Sunday in Detroit, you know.
Sunday in Detroit. Jesus.
Just run into the store for milk.
That's they, that's why I send your kids, folks. That's why I send your kids. Don't risk it. All right.
Yeah. You can
So
always just replace them.
that's exactly you make more. Um,
Uh,
so with
What's the first
1.20
day?
and these
it
JSON
went to the map,
files,
yeah.
I went to a spotlight where they had a trader, and the lag nearly broke my game. Lag's one of the major things when it comes to Dayz with PvP, survival, even game chat, VoIP. As players and of course owners, is there ways that you either handle your game or you handle your server to be able to try and minimize the lag that either you're gonna encounter or that your players are gonna encounter? We'll start with Gxblyn. He's got a lot of experience when it
Sure.
comes with multiple servers and massive
Yeah.
JSON builds.
So, yeah. So you kicked it off. You said that you were having a lot of lag from, was it from the loot stacking?
Yeah,
The
they had a
JSON?
trader at Radio Zenit, and I probably got it within
Yeah.
50 meters of it, and it started, and then got a little bit closer, and the game went down to probably half a frame rate.
Oh shit.
Like it's probably the
You-
worst lag. I had to pull back because I thought the Xbox was gonna just shut down.
So you crossed over from frames per second to seconds per frame.
Yeah, yeah. That's what it was like. I've never experienced anything like
Yeah.
that.
Oh man, my when I first started out, sometimes my servers ran like that. like if I was when I was just playing on a 1S, you know.
Yep.
I used to I've actually gone to efforts to like make the lag worse sometimes on purpose. On Prison, I had this thing like before an update, um, for a couple of days. Um, I would put Prison in what I called dead ass hell mode, and it would just be like bears and bonfires everywhere, and just massive zombies, and nighttime, so like there was all the reflections and stuff, and it would be literally sometimes like a frame per second or something. You know what I mean? Like
Sugar.
it was like you were watching a slideshow. It was like a slideshow PvP.
Oh.
So anyway, but so yeah, to basically all of my current servers are purposely set up to run at like minimal RAM. Um, it's like the concept that is kind of tried and true for me is I pick an area and I just narrow the loot file down, the map group pose file. I just basically take out every entry except for in the little zone that I want to be active,
Yep.
you know, and then and that leaves you a lot of slack to like add in additional JSON buildings and that, but I don't put the JSON loot. I just add those buildings to my map group pose file, and so it runs through the normal map group proto loot.
Yeah, so
And then
you're spawning it off the
tweak
old system.
Yeah, and that works pretty smooth. I just tweak the proto, so like, you know, like Prison, I have like, I don't know, 150 loot points like in the main prison building with, you know, like military and police like kind of mixed in, and so just, yeah, it runs through the normal loot economy. I get a lot of complaints, you know, people are like, oh, you know, like this isn't like Blackout or whatever, you know, like how come there's not, you know, 50 bags in a pile with like machine guns in them, and um I can't, where's the guns? Where's the guns? You know, I'm like, go freaking find one, you know? It's a theme server. It's a prison riot. Like, if there's a prison riot, you you just
You're not finding
peach
AKs
juice.
in the
I had a
cells.
little wardrobe change there. It's looking pretty sweet. Yeah, I mean, you might find one, but you'd have to go look around, you know, and you'd have to make do. So, if you gotta kill somebody with a pitchfork, well, so be it, you know. I mean, that's just what it is, you know.
So it's
The
a
But that
attire for
system,
Greedy's new server.
come again?
It's the attire for Greedy's new server.
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool, but you gotta stay warm at the same time.
you do
Yeah, there you go.
looking fancy, but. So what you're
Um,
saying is, when it comes to the coding, you can adjust how much you can actually, by putting too much into it, can adjust the lag to a point where it's nearly unplayable, but also refine it to a point where it's super smooth but has all the values to it.
yeah, there's a spectrum, and obviously there's certain like objects that you learn it's just best not to have in there, like bonfires, for instance. You know,
Yeah.
um, being great effect, but if you know, if you want everything to turn like grayscale and just be like horrifically laggy, then put a bunch of bonfires. You know. Obviously, there's the aspect of, you know, despawn timers and everything like that. Um, but uh, I like for there to be bodies piled up around too. So it's a trade-off. You know what I mean? Like if there's like, if the server's full and people are getting slaughtered left and right, I want there to be bodies and like flies and stuff. Like it lends to the flavor of the server. So,
Yep.
you know, I don't turn them to 0 or something, or 0.1. You know, I don't want you to shoot somebody, they fall down and their body just disappears, because it's not very immersive. So it's a trade-off, you know what I mean? Like I'll trade a couple frames for there being, you know, corpses heaped down a hallway and stuff. Makes it kind of creepy, you know?
Yeah, no, it definitely makes you want to not go down the hallway, that's for sure. Because you definitely think as
Yeah,
someone just
maybe,
modes all these people down in one hit, caution kicks up. So immersion is sometimes beneficial in the game to bring the player and get the player involved. So definitely understand that one. James, what about you as a streamer and as a player yourself? Is there anything that you do to try and minimise the amount of lag you're gonna cop?
I guess kind of at least try and be running as minimal devices in my house as possible whenever I do stream, just because I know that it's gonna screw with my frame rate. But since I got the new Xbox, everything's been running decent. I used to play on the one, just the base one, and I would play like Goblin's old server, which is like the Essaker City one, and I could not.
Nah, it
I
just
could
wasn't
not do it.
happening.
It would not. It wouldn't let me. No. But it's that Dayz has definitely gotten a lot better when it comes to game-breaking lag. It's just all the little tiny stuff here and there that just kind of ruins the immersion aspect of it.
Yep.
But at least when it comes to big lag, that we definitely left that in the past back with preview.
Yeah, definitely, especially when it comes
I
to
hope so.
official and things like that. I think the lag has improved quite a lot. I think a lot of the lag comes from
Definitely.
what server you play, depending on where you are. Region is a big key.
Oh, yeah. There definitely is a big difference between me being on like a European or Australian server than being on a New York server. It's definitely a big difference in the amount of lag, but even when it comes to lag, I think the only time that I really experience it is when you're near like a lot of items dropped on the ground, all piled towards each other,
Yeah, when there's
or
mass
base or something like that. That's really the only time that I've experienced it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what it's like with traders now. The amount of items are there just crippling the areas, absolutely crippling them. With survival addicts, monkey juice, what and being low loot, have you experienced any, or is there anything that you do apart from the low loot aspect to try and combat lag for all varieties of players?
Yeah, the major thing that we did, we went from an Australian server base to an American server base, just to sort of, across the board. I find that, like a lot of people sort of struggle with the Australian servers, especially from Europe and America.
Yep.
So we sort of went, okay, where's the mass of player bases? We have a decent player base in Australia, but most of them are Europe and America, of course,
Yep.
with population densities. But yeah, so we switched over to American servers, and we cop a little bit of lag ourselves, being in Oz, and plus our shit internet don't help.
Correct.
But yeah, we found that a lot of the European base and the American base are happy with that change, because they're not copping the good old door jams or stuff like that. So yeah, like, we don't mind copping a little bit of lag to help the community out, the player base, because that's what it's about. It's about getting your players in.
Yep.
But yeah, besides that, it's pretty much everyone knows about the good old Zeleno when you drive through there and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just the normal stuff. Besides that, yeah, pretty much. And of course, our traders way up out of the way, where going to get lag up there. Well, you're only going up to that one area for a purpose. So yeah,
Yeah.
besides that, it's pretty good.
Isolated trader always helps. Definitely helps with keeping that lag in one spot. And I definitely understand the point of being an owner and sacrificing your connection for a better connection for your player base.
Yeah,
As
it
owners,
needed to be done.
yeah, just to keep everyone going.
Yeah, because like we were finding that like a couple of European blokes would come in, and then they'd sort of be like, "Oh no, it's too laggy, we're out." And it's like, hey, hang on a minute, like, why are you getting lag? and then it's sort of like, let's work this out, and then that's where we figured out, okay, let's go I think we went to West Coast America, so it's sort of, we've worked it out more centralized to everyone.
Yep.
And and it seems to be working pretty good. I think the lack of loot helps a lot.
Yeah, less entities in the server definitely helps performance.
Yep.
But yes, if you ever, I do find that a lot of people jump into a server, find something and bail. And it's always good if you give the owner some feedback, and even if you spend the time to sort of work out what the issue is, at least with the server owner themselves, they'll be able to correct the server if need be. I mean, you do get people who go, well, bad luck, you can't play it, move on. But a lot of owners want that feedback. They want to know what's going on and how you're experiencing it, especially with this new indicator system.
I think that's a bit broken, but
I think so too.
Yeah.
because I've run
Has
around
anybody-
on heavily modded servers and I've copped nothing. Say like your
Yeah,
ED, like I wasn't copping any of it for a good nearly 8 hours of playing on that server. I never got it once. I jumped over on my own and I got it straight away, and it's like, hang on a minute, wait,
Hold on.
what's going on here?
And they're in the same location,
Yeah,
because that's an
like,
LA
so-
server.
Yeah, so it's sort of like, okay, and yours has got like, like it's got some things through it, and where mine's virtually empty, it's like, hang on a minute, like, there's something wrong here. Like, just here, just for that split second, standing here, I'm not doing anything, and I wasn't moving, and I was watching it, and it was coming up, and it was going, and it was like, oh, wow, okay, so, but it is a good indicator, to let you know that, like, I think, it's more if someone's around. Or vicinity.
Oh, you think it could be used like that?
Yeah.
You'd be able to
'cause I've
see
noticed-
a connection or a ping issue when the ping drops when somebody enters
Yeah.
your 800-meter bubble.
Yep. So it's sort of, for those PvP players out there you go. Keep an eye on that, because you just never know. It could be one of those things.
Yeah, a little
yeah.
indicator.
It's a new thing to Dayz, so like a little bit of work, and they'll perfect it. I'll get there.
Yeah, it's right. When new features come out, it does take a couple of updates for them to fully refine it and find out how it's going. You are 100% correct in that. Now, this question mainly goes to Gxblyn, being such a long-term server owner and obviously having a variety of servers. Can you give us your either best successful server or best failed server?
Yeah, I got you a little snack.
Thank you. Oh, you can't eat them anymore.
Oh man, I missed that.
Okay, so, I think about that's a good question. So, what was my most successful?
Yeah. So, what's
And
been your
my
most
biggest
success?
flop,
Yeah.
basically?
What's a disaster that you tend not to talk about because, and what's your best success?
Well, let's see. I mean, I guess I'd have to say that Prison Riot is kind of like my signature server, and like, my longest stand. That's kind of like the one that I'm known for. Although Cumtown is given a run for its money. Like the people that like Cumtown really like it, So it's like got maybe a smaller but really enthusiastic following. But just in general, the like small map kind of heavy duty PvP, but with sort of the lack of weapons and ammo almost gives it a little bit of a RP flavor on these smaller servers that I have.
Yep.
And of course the scenery, like death row, you might spawn in a prison cell or something. So that concept I feel like has been successful for me. So if I roll out a server with that concept, it seems to do well. And Prison Riot's probably the strongest example, but on the other hand, I did my initial one of those servers that I rented when I was drunk Thanksgiving morning. It evolved to become a server called Frenemy. It was Frenemies, and then it was Frenemy, and that was like a full map faction type deal. And I had a Discord, and I assigned roles with people with factions. I gave them their own channels, and they like went wild and did their own thing. And that was kind of a crash and burn type experience,
Yep.
Like I don't know how exactly, but from playing on some of the community servers from when I first started, I'd met some characters, I would say, and I invited some of them to come and like admin for me, and it just that first server and that first Discord just completely blew up, and it was like, I don't know, in Australia, do you guys use the term blind pig for like for a party that's just completely off the chain?
No.
Okay, so that maybe it's an American thing, but in the States, a blind pig is like a party where, there's like middle schoolers like taking like poking LSD and stuff, you know what I mean? It's like just like people go to prison over throwing a blind pig type situation.
Yeah.
It's a party that goes on for days and days. And that frenemy server and Discord and everything was just a straight up blind pig for like a month.
Just went
Minus
nuts.
the middle schoolers doing coke and that, but
Well, maybe there was a little bit of that.
yeah, I mean, not to my knowledge, but yeah, certainly could have been happening. But it was just insane, you know what I mean? And it was like tons of fun, but the one lesson, and what brought it down and destroyed it was the whole concept up front. And partly this was a response because I didn't like the servers that had too many rules and had like kind of I thought silly rules like oh, you can't climb on a car to like get over a wall or through a window, and I just always thought, okay, so this is like a semi-realistic post-apocalyptic situation. The first thing I'm going to do is climb on a car to try to get over a wall or through a window
100%.
to survive.
Yep.
Why the hell wouldn't I do that?
100%.
So I had no rules, just totally no rules. But I didn't know some things, so like I ended up with a faction of dupers that just, started just annihilating the other factions because they just had M4s for days. And, they planted landmines all up and down the highway, like from Berezino to Cami, and so that was going on. And then yeah, and that was even fine. Like everyone laughed about it because there was no rules. It was just totally crazy, anything goes. You know what I mean? And but then I started getting pressure, and people wanted a trader and they wanted a safe zone and stuff like that. And I resisted it for a while. Eventually, I was like, okay, fine. Green Mountain can be, the safe zone for the trader and that. And within like 2 weeks, I was so fed up from all the like disputes and
Rule
complaints
breakers.
and people murdering the trader, people murdering each other at the trader, murdering people as they try to leave the trader, and then just like complaining to me and trying to get other people banned, and one group's trying to get the other group banned, and other group's trying to get the other group banned, and like just trying to have that little safe zone on that map. Within a couple of weeks, it completely soured me on the whole thing, and come Christmas, I think it was. It wasn't Christmas Eve. It was like late night Christmas Day. Um, Sort of coincidentally, like drunk on Thanksgiving, rent a server. I got just freaking hammered. Christmas
Cut
night.
shits with it. Got the shits with it and binned it.
And I just deleted the whole freaking thing, the Discord, the server. I just fucking iced the whole thing, and then come January or February or something, kind of got the itch to like try to do something else. And actually, I think it was February of 2021 is when I first launched Prison Riot, and that was like a different approach to where you could have a no rules deathmatch, no problem. Even if people dupe on there, I don't encourage it, but I really don't care. Like, what difference does it make?
That's it. You just make it loot for me.
I don't even. Yeah, I don't care. I don't worry about it. It's like, and if people misbehave and stuff, I'm not gonna ban anybody. Just go kill them. Like, if you're in a riot in a prison, and some group was like a bunch of racists or something, then they should band together and just murder them, drive them out of the service.
That's it.
As someone who has played Prison Riot, I can assure you that happens
All the time. All the time.
I know. I don't encourage it.
No, I'm more talking about someone being racist or being, discriminative, and your player base gets in and hunts them down and takes them out.
That's the best.
Yeah, that's
that's the thing.
That's pretty cool.
You really can't keep people out. I mean, how many alts can they have? Like 32 alts or something like that?
Yeah, 32 game alts, unlimited Discord alts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been through it all. I mean, obviously, I have attempted to sort of like ban people and stuff like that, but it almost makes it worse, because then they get like a grudge and just try to like ruin it for everybody. So I'm pretty hands off,
Yeah, I prefer
overall,
a server that's pretty hands off and let it do whatever it does and work it out at the end.
And you know what I realized finally with these 3 that I have up that have been up for a good while, the best thing you can do is to not make a lot of changes over time. Just like incremental little things, but don't make any dramatic changes. It seems like the players respond to like some stability, just like they know what they're getting into on the server, and they get comfortable there. And if you make drastic changes, it might send them away,
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Well, on the ladies' podcast, it was mentioned that certain servers would have a vibe, and people would change that vibe, and that would kill the server for the player because they're going to source out that vibe, and they're no longer there.
Yeah, totally. It's a really hard thing to establish, but it's real easy to crush the vibe, so you got to be careful.
Yeah, 100%. Monkey Juice, what about you? Have you had any... I know you're successful at the moment with the super hardcore servers, the survival addicts. They are absolutely brutal, and I know that's what you guys were looking for, but have you tried anything else in the past and had either success or fails?
Yeah, we did have one server we were trying out. We didn't open it up really. It was sort of just the testing grounds before we got to what we got now. But when Queen was first starting out her, what do we call it on the PC, doing all those moddy things, whatever, adjusting all the numbers,
doing some
which
coding.
I have nothing to do with.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. When she was testing that, there was some big fails there. Yeah, but besides that, it's been pretty good. Like, we've just made it as hard as what we could, and yeah, if someone's got something to complain about, well, obviously you can't survive, so unfortunately, go somewhere else.
Yeah, that's it.
But
It's a very strict. It is a very strict
like,
server where it's set the bar extremely high. When it comes to
you
survival
have to,
aspect.
yeah, it's for those that have, if you're new to the game, okay, give it a go. You're definitely going to learn how to play the game on our server. You got no choice. But yeah, we're sort of had no drummers really in the background. Yeah, we've had a couple of things, not on the server per se. But yeah, sort of, more stalking other players and whatnot. But we've sort of sorted that out. But yeah, besides the server itself and issues and with play, but it's been pretty good. The people that do come and join in, they either last 15-minute run, die the first time and get out of there because they can't handle it, and that's helped with the player base itself. So
Refines it down.
like,
Refines it down straight up.
well, oh yeah, because if you're surviving, you're looking after your character because obviously we've got that sort of in quotas end goal.
Yep.
But yeah, sort of
That end goal being just get equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and yeah, the player base seems to look after themselves on there because you can't do really anything else besides look out for yourself. So you sort of don't want to grief, you don't want to do anything like that because you're just going to hurt yourself in the long run because you've spent you could spend 20 hours looting around, finally get find a hat, and then. Someone shoots you, which is a part of the game, and then, and then next minute you're getting shot again, and it's by the same person. It's like, well, you're going to return it, so you're going to return it, and then they're going to, lose everything, so it's sort of, but yeah, besides that, we've had no dramas. It's
That's
I might say a smooth ride.
All
but
successes.
Yeah, and like the server works it out itself. It decides the player base itself, which is good because we don't really have to. We've got minimal rules, of course, but yeah, just don't be a dick. Pretty much is what we say. It's more about that stupid other thing, that Discord shit that. Yeah, it's my biggest issue because that's where I find a lot of drama happens is on there. But but besides that, the server runs itself. If we make a change, we'll sort of run through. Like I'll pop myself, end up back at the coast, and do a run through to make sure it works.
Yeah.
So that the player base isn't sort of affected, so to speak. But yeah, besides that, we're pretty lucky.
And what about you, James? As a player, have you had any big fails that you keep note of, or that stand out in your mind when it comes to being involved in the game? Where you've either, I don't know.
I've been banned off a lot of servers.
You've been banned off a lot of servers?
Official?
Nah.
How
actually.
do you get banned off official?
No. So I used to play like a lot of community servers, and I absolutely hate Discord, just as a rule. And I used to not use it at all.
Yep.
So I would just join a random server and I just start messing around. And so I wouldn't know something like, oh, this is a trader base, or oh, you're not supposed to jump over cars into bases. So we were talking about that a minute ago, like jumping over a car into a base. I
Yeah.
all of a sudden got banned off a server. I was raiding a base. I jumped. They had a truck, like their truck, parked outside their base. So I broke down one wall, drove their truck into the base, and started jumping over all the walls with the truck and breaking in, and kept getting in further and further. And I just got banned off the server. I'm like, oh, why'd I get banned? And I got a message later, and it was like, you're not supposed to jump over vehicles, and never got unbanned from that server. But just stuff like that. So I just kind of moved towards official, where there's really nobody monitoring it.
Yeah, it's
absolutely
just be a
everything
loose
goes.
cannon. Everything goes. There's no issues.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
no one going to
Oh,
jump
yeah,
on you. But that's funny. Just hopping into random open servers without the discords and Just halfway through a raid to get you out, get kicked out. Oh, that's funny.
I got banned off Deadlands as well because I shot at the trader because the guy inside the trader was shooting at me, so I sniped him and I got banned off the server.
That's great. All right, we're going to move on to now across to into the code inside of it. Welcome everybody to TPP The Peasant Podcast. We've currently got Arc Trooper Echo, Monkey Juice, and Gxblyn. Gxblyn's from Gxblyns Arcade. Monkey Juice is from Survival Addicts, and of course, Arc Trooper Echo is a streamer that runs a variety of survival games. Ladies and gentlemen, and fellas, of course, why console Dayz and not PC? I think we touched a little bit onto it when it came to community, but I know at least Gxblyn and Monkey Juice have been into the PC realm. Why? What keeps you in the console community?
I can pick up my console, unplug it, pick it up, and move it wherever the hell I want. My PC, I have to unplug this, unplug that, worry about my mouse and keyboard, pick up this big box that's heavy as, and sort of maneuver around. But I don't know, just the ease of console. I can fire up my console, turn it on, press the button, and away I go. PC, if there's something changed or if there's a new mod in the server, I'll have to find that mod, download that mod, it's sort of just the ease of console.
Hassle free.
Yep. Yeah, it's just so much easier. But because me and Queen and also the kids as well, we all run off the same internet. So having consoles, I find that they don't drain the internet as much, so to speak. Where a PC takes a lot of power, a lot of everything, with everything running in the background because of all your hacker stuff and all your bugs and all that, all that in the background. You got all the search engines in the background that even though you switch them off, they're really turned on still. And it just puts a lot of drain on the internet service itself. So I find console just sort of quick, easy, bang bang, plug it in, away you go. But I love PC. I do.
Yeah, 100%. And what about you, James? Why are you delving around that? Affordability? No, there's definitely a big factor. I know when it comes to Dayz on PC, you're looking at about $2-3 grand for a decent computer to be able to run it. And
like he was saying, it is a lot easier. I've delved into looking at PC stuff before, and I got just a basic laptop that is decent at running some games. It's it's an okay laptop at running stuff like that, and even then it's really complicated getting it all set up. So if just ease of use, but at the same time, all my friends are here.
Well, that
just move over to PC.
I think that's a lot of the thing that brings people back is they start on console, develop a community, get some friends together, people they like to roll with, and then think it's going to happen the same way over a PC and don't get the same reaction and come back.
Yeah.
Now, Gxblyn, when it comes to you delve into both of them. What's the appeal to console?
Well, let's see. I think I mentioned, having started playing Dayz on console, and also on a 1S, to where it was not ideal, the performance.
Yeah, it would have been on a 1S.
So I really got into it pretty bare bones. I think it was around 1.11 when I started playing. and it was on an older console. And so for me, like, this is most familiar to me. Um, like, I play PC because I want to see, other maps. I want to try out different, like, equipment and clothing and stuff, and it's a whole other community, but it feels a little weird to me. You know what I mean? Like,
You're in
just like
somebody else's
even
house.
like the character, yeah, in somebody else's body
Yep.
almost. Like the character models feel a little different. Like it feels like the characters are a little bigger when you play on PC. Like they seem a little smaller on console to me. Um, I don't know, just something little different about it that I prefer that aspect of console. But there's a couple other things. For one, like James was saying, like a lot of my people are console people, um, and I follow some PC streamers and stuff, and there are a couple servers that I like to jump on PC because I like to learn from them, like maybe some things I could implement on my console servers.
Yep.
I really like the style, those adventure style servers. I like that a lot, and I try to emulate that to some degree. Um, what else? Actually, one person in particular that kind of keeps me coming back to console. Um, this hot piece of ass over here, the greedy peasant. I mean, you pretty much.
Yeah, but I
like
keep dragging you
solidified
back. That's the problem. That's why you call Dragline now, because I
No,
keep
it's
dragging
not-
your ass back.
Nah, it's not like that. I mean, I mean, obviously, it's a collection of everyone's efforts, but like, you've kind of provided this, like, I don't know, adhesive, the glue to kind of bring together this very diverse Daisy like console community,
Yep.
and that wasn't there before, as you well know.
No, I
It really
100%
wasn't
agree.
there. It was super adversarial, and I'm sure it is
Very
at times
cliquish.
still.
Yep.
But yeah, and
But even
it
server
was less
wars
like,
and things like that.
yeah, it was less cooperation, more like sabotage and things like that would go on, and it was pretty toxic, in my opinion. And I don't know, like what that's the thing is sometimes I get feedback. Some of these servers that our community puts out, you get feedback to where it's like, darn, I wish that we had this type of server on PC to play. You know what I mean? And I feel that the community of players on console is pretty special. You know what I mean? And it's kind of unique to console. Like, like
No, I've
I
seen
don't
that
know. It's just a
before. I've
certain
seen
vibe.
when I was playing Downhill, the original one. I used to get all the time
Mm-hmm.
comments about why there are no car servers on PC.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
Yeah,
you guys have
and
all
that's
the
yeah.
cars in the world. Why I got no idea why you don't have car servers on PC.
Yeah, right. And that's the thing too is when I do venture over to PC, um, there's only a couple servers that really appeal to me. Like I don't like the servers where you come in and it's like, oh, you have $500,000 and pick your house, pick your car. You know what I mean? Like whatever, teleport all over the place. Like I like the game to be pretty. I That was the thing that hooked me in, was that I thought the game was so incredibly difficult, and it gave me a desire to try to master it. Um, and that's what kind of drew me in. That's what keeps me going. And a lot of PC servers are kind of just like, you're a little baby and they're like feeding you applesauce or something.
Yep.
And I'm not into that at all.
No, I'm like that. I need
And
to find a point where I get to and beat that point, and then consistently beat that point And that's what
Yeah.
Dayz provides. It provides that, especially when it comes to survival addicts and stuff like that. I mean, I
Yeah.
think servers just get worse and worse and harder and harder and harder and harder because people just set that bar higher and higher and higher.
Yeah, I was actually on that subject. I forgot to mention it before, but I had a question for Monkey Juice. I was curious, without giving away any trade secrets or anything, but is there anything in particular you do to like up that survival difficulty? Just, I mean, aside from just purely things being scarce, like, have you found?
Um, t- it's the change of putting different things in different places.
Yeah.
You know, like, because everyone's used to the spawns of where wolves and bears are. So we've changed completely that. It's completely
Yeah.
changed. So you're not, you know, like, say, at Gorka, in between Gorka and Novi, like, everyone knows that there's a wolf spawn there, you know, like, coming past the mountain there. Okay, everyone knows that, you know, on official or whatever, there's always a wolf spawn there. Well, yeah, you might be lucky that there might not be one there, but you might have copped it earlier or cop it later. Yeah, we've just changed a whole aspect of animal spawns and all that kind of stuff, because everyone's used to where things are, especially the long-term players that are looking at survival aspects of games. You know, we've been on the game for long enough. We, you know, we can guarantee that there's pigs over here, or there's a chicken spawn here, or there's this spawn here, or like, we know that, we know what to look for. But so we've fully gone, nah, let's just start it fresh and go. Let's put them where we want them. Same with the Zeds, you know, like we've done the same there to sort of add in your head, like, oh shit, you know, this is
Yeah, I was curious about that
Scarcity
too.
is the
Like,
most thing.
do you find any particular zombies to be more difficult than others? Do you like up certain ones?
Yeah, well, what we virtually did was we took the tanker zombies and removed everything off them and put them on the coast. Yeah. So, and they're everywhere, all through the map. Like, they're not in massive hordes, but just virtually the tankers, just to make it harder for that survival aspect. Because they take a lot more hits than a normal zombie.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, just the tankers, and of course the nice new mummy zombies as well.
Right.
I
Yeah,
set
that's
up a
cool,
little
man.
and tucked a couple in there just to spice things up.
Yeah, I played on a PC one recently, Greedy Saw, and they had a mod where the zombies would bash on a door, and then ultimately, after a few knocks, they'd open the door and come and let themselves out.
Yeah, that
I
was
wish
cool.
we had that.
That was cool.
That's pretty cool.
I wish we had that. That's one thing I liked about 1.15. When they updated 1.15, is the zombies had come through the door, and it was like, holy shit, you know, like like it was a glitch, but it was a pretty cool glitch, you know, like
Yeah, the nowhere to run and have to deal with the target.
Yeah, and at this point in time,
game
with
changer.
our
Now they just fly
servers,
onto the roof.
So I wish we had 1.15 zombies these days in my two servers. Anyway, that'd spice it up. But so.
No, but I agree. That things like that would be key elements to improving the game. The zombies kicking in the door like that, and it's daunting too. When I was watching Gxblyn running around, it was daunting. Even as he'd chuck a few in there, and then you just hear boom, boom, boom.
It was
boom.
creeping me out, man.
I mean, even when it
That was
came to
pretty
the
cool.
point that the scenario became real, and you were inside a shed bandaging, and you were trying to bandage, and you could even see in yourself with that banging. The panic setting in of, oh shit, am I going to get time to get this bandage, or am I dealing with him? And then where do I put him? Do I put him back in the shed for him to open the door again?
Yeah, what do you do, you know? Just like, I'm just going to have to freaking run out of the town and just run away and don't look back.
And hope I don't bleed out.
Yeah.
But it's
Maybe we'll
definitely
get that eventually, something like that.
well, an element like that. I
That'd be
think
nice to have.
they need to concentrate on something like that because it once again it takes the game to a whole different level.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do love
Well,
the lore
you know-
aspect of Daisy.
Yeah, like
Yes.
when I'm shut in a house and there's 50 zombies just like kind of looking in through just spinning around like this, looking through the window, I'll just be like, well, at least I got my mime mask on.
That's it. No, they call me Zorro. They call me Zorro. That's it. Get your mime mask troll on. But you're right. If it's completely surrounded and you've got, 40 zombies outside, it should be kicking in every door and coming in after you.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Not allow
I'd like
me
to
to bash
see-
them through the windows and then go out and loot them all.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
punch them through
yeah.
the wall. Just stand there punching them through the wall.
Yep.
Right. It's something that hopefully they'll focus in on that, because that could take the game to a much
A
higher
whole new
level,
level.
I think.
A
It's
whole new
something that's
level.
lacking, because some of these newer games, without dropping any names, one of the best things is like the AI is becoming really like difficult to handle.
Yeah,
So
like Screamers.
Yeah, well, no, that like
Screamers is a
like
certain
DMZ, the Warzone
Yeah,
DMZ
yeah, right,
is
right.
brutal.
totally, yeah.
The AI on that
So-
is just
sometimes it's-
nuts.
Like on that new map, they have like different outfits on and stuff now. It's like sometimes I mistake them for players, just the movement that they have and some of the, you know what I mean? It's really, I don't know, something they could really focus in on.
But I wonder how much that would then add on to the game and the game mechanics and how much. I mean, we currently sit at just over 15 gigs, I think, on a game where you're looking at Warzone is, 110 gigs or something like that?
Oh, sure, yeah.
So there's a lot of engine, there's a lot of computing power that's back behind that and programming power that I just don't think Dayz has pulled into that development yet. I think they're trying to keep their game tidy and quiet rather than handing it to a big developer and saying, "Hey, put 100 gigs on it, eh? Watch it go
True.
ballistic."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's understandable. But
And as
I don't know.
As an owner of Dayz, I wouldn't either, because you're holding on to pretty much gold when it comes to how the game plays and the cult behind it, but they slowly but surely lose players due to the game. So I guess it's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
They gotta-
trade-off
they
for
gotta
a new
keep-
fan base
keep
or a new
Pace
group.
with the competition somehow.
I don't.
know what I mean?
I don't
Like-
even think they're worried about the competition. I think they're just heads down, doing their own thing, and that's why they probably are trailing a little behind.
Yeah, I would agree. To some degree, to some extent. Oh, I did forget one thing when you asked what keeps me going with console.
Yep.
Ever since I rented those original servers, and I've gone through a bunch of different layouts, and server names and stuff. But from all the times that I've increased slots or decreased slots on Nitrado, 2 of my servers are prepaid for like 700 days into the future. So
Yeah.
that's a big factor
You-
that keeps me coming back.
You're in a
because I'm
locked-in
like, "Oh, well."
contract.
Yeah, I'm like, and then and then maybe I design something that like works out and it gets a little popular, and then I increase it, and then it extends it for even more time. So like,
Every time you
know,
change in the
hopefully-
slots.
yeah, hopefully Dayz's still a thing like 2.5 years from now, because I already paid for a server in like 2025. So
Yeah, I'm the
keep
same.
fingers crossed.
Well, I'm up to server 4 now, so all of them are paid
Yeah.
over at least 100 days.
Mhm.
I said I'd never get another
Yeah.
server, now I've got
Daisy
4 of
2
them.
drops.
Yep. Oh no,
Yeah, right.
Dayz 2 drops. I'll get a couple of those servers too, and I'll have these ones and that one, and having all sort of bloody mess. That's hilarious.
Oh, look, it's a torch.
All right, so
Yeah, I seen the big fella over here was shaking. Look at him, he's a bit cold over here. So
Yeah.
that's all right. My hat keeps me well lubricated.
Lubricant.
He's doing the Raleigh
Is it not the
fingers over
words you
here.
are
He's got
looking for?
Vaseline behind his ears.
That's it. Got it all going. So the question is now, and speaking of outfits, are outfits a big thing in Dayz? And if so, what's the go-to and what you go to when it comes to different servers? So I'll start with Mr. Official James. Is there any particular outfit that you jump onto Official and go out to find, or are you just grabbing whatever you can
Oh,
find?
yeah. Well, at the beginning, of course, you grab whatever you can find, but it definitely all comes down to a black cowboy hat and a skull mask. And then really whatever else I can fit together looks good with it.
So that's what the black cowboy hat and the skull mask you use as your, I suppose, icons of identification.
Yeah.
Would you like to see any other clothing that's not in the game be put in? And if so, what is it?
Clothing? I mean, maybe just add some different color variations to a lot of stuff that already exists in the game. You know? I mean, we already have a lot of stuff when it comes to customization, but just more of that. I think that's a good point for the game to keep moving forward. Just little things here and there. Like, we don't need a whole lot of more big added things, like new clothing items, just crazy stuff, just different colors, or maybe just a slightly different look on something, maybe the ability to, like, add a little detail to it, something that you find. Like, I know they have, like, spray paint in the game files.
Yep,
Something
got
like
black
that.
and green. Yep. So the ability for the player to be able to change clothing and modify the stuff that we have now. Spray paint some of
Yeah,
your
it'd be pretty
jackets
cool to
and
see.
stuff. That'd be cool. Definitely. What about you, Monkey Juice? I know rolling a hardcore server and especially at the start of the
Firefighter.
podcast, firefighter gear.
Firefighter gear, simply warmth and keep you semi-dry. It can piss down rain and, like, you're still warm and it keeps you drier than most other gearing that I've found. So yeah, firefighter gear straight up.
It's definitely definitely
All the way from
cool.
the helmet to the boots. Oh, maybe not the wellies, but because then you have to look for duct tape. But
Bloody duct tape.
but yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, the firefighter gear, I find overall just for wet weather, coldness, yeah. The only thing that lets it down is the fluoros on the arms and the legs.
Yeah, 100%. So, in saying that, what would you like to see incorporated into the game? Especially from a hardcore standard and clothing.
Maybe some ponchos. Say similar to the witch's hood, but without that big massive pointy thing. Like, just normal ponchos where you chuck on over the top of your clothes. And say, like one of those warm ones, like, and that acts sort of like a rain barrier as well, plus a warmth, and, like if you start getting too hot, you can take it off. Something similar to, something like that.
So, like a full body rain cover, but also like a poncho, like a vest that would hang over the top of you and keep you warmth?
Yeah, like the sort of similar to what the Mexicans wear.
Yeah.
Those, like,
Which is just a
something similar
a blanket with a hole in the middle, basically.
with a hole cut.
Yep.
Yeah, basically something like that. I think that'd fit into the game as well because it's sort of roll on with the kind of aspects of it.
Yep.
And of course you can get them in bright colours or whatever, or dark colours and stuff like that. And of course they're a part of some armies outfits. So yeah, it's sort of it'll go in Daisy, I think, something like that.
No, I think that's
But yeah, besides
probably a
that,
suggestion that
pretty
I've
happy
never
with
heard.
everything.
I've probably never heard that, but
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
agree. Now that the wet weather is in, maybe a disposable, like especially with those canvas tarps, being able to convert that
Yep.
into
Oh, yeah, yep.
an improvised poncho to be able to keep you dry.
Yep, yep, yeah. Yeah, like, because we got raincoats, so, like, yeah. So, wouldn't be too hard to sort of turn something plastic into a wet weather gear, as we all know, because it rains a hell of a lot in Dayz, so, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. All right, Mr. Goblin, what about you? I know you're a connoisseur of the outfits, and you like your outfits. What's your go-to outfit, and why?
Um, I I don't really like have to get anything in particular. Um, I guess kind of like with the guns, there's some things I'm happy to find, like um, I like the pink striped ski mask. I like that tanker hat that kind of looks like a Star Wars
Yep.
hat,
Yeah, Princess Leia hair. Yeah, I think the exact same thing.
Um, I'm not real practical about, like I say, I don't really have a lot of self-regard in this game. I just like to have a good time. So, um, I uh, do, do, do. So if they were gonna add some clothing
Yep.
options, I would like more variety. Like, and if you really think about it, like what type of stuff would be available? Like I'd like for
Apocalypse-wise.
there to be like I'd like to be able to put on a onesie,
Yep.
like pajamas.
I would like a
And
costume
run
store.
around
I would like a
Uh-huh.
like a business that just has, like you say, your onesie. You got an elephant onesie or a giraffe onesie, or
Yeah,
you could put on a
they'd
clown
be around,
outfit, or and it would be around
hmm
just one in one spot. Animal onesies. That's it. Get in the woof.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't have to be like PUBG level costuming, but if you look at like Vigor, which is a Bohemia
Yep.
game, they have options where they have like those fisherman pants that go like up to your chest,
Oh yeah,
and
the waiters.
Your waiters.
yeah, they have like wolf hats and stuff like that, and I think if you could craft a hat out of like a wolf's head or whatever, I think it'd be awesome. Um, and it
Yeah.
would actually be kind of realistic. I'd like to be able to cut someone's face off and wear it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like they have that on PC.
Yeah. Well, they have. You can get the head
From
model
0 to 60.
rocking the arseless
Just saying,
chaps.
Yeah, Trip would definitely be rocking
He
the
was
assless chaps
that
with
and
nothing
a
underneath.
cat
Oh, you
outfit.
know it.
Yeah, a cat outfit, whatever, you know what I mean? But I mean, I would just like to see like I'd like to have long like knee-high socks with like colored stripes on them,
Yep.
you know?
Just a big
That you could
variety
wear
of.
with like a shorts or a skirt, you know? Just for fun, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. That's partly where like my servers are first person for PvP reasons, but I kind of play half and half. Sometimes I like to play on third person just so I can like look at my character, like interact with the environment, or like jog along and stuff. And that's when I'm playing third person is more when I kind of get more into the costuming aspect. You know what I mean? Because it's a vibe.
Yep.
Um, I mean, obviously on official you get that. I dig getting that like hobo vibe going where you have such a hodgepodge of like beat up clothes and stuff, but you can still look kind of cool. Um, but yeah, I would love to be able to put on, those those like old school red pajamas, like with the buttons.
The
where you
butt
can-
flap.
there's, like,
Yeah.
a
With the
flap.
butt flap. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, think about it. You know,
That
Like,
military,
who
the
wouldn't
red
wanna-
military
wouldn't wanna-
boots, and the hat that you're
Revolver hanging
wearing,
off your hip.
and that hat
Yeah.
right there. I'm sold. That would be the
Yeah,
new
you
greedy outfit.
Yeah, have a chest holster, you know, with like a magnum in it, and just run and have the option to where you could leave the flap unbuttoned, so your ass is just hanging out. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that?
Your flap just coasted down the coast with your flap flapping in the wind.
Yeah, yeah, you know.
And that's
Yeah, it'd be like,
and
oh
that's
my
the
God.
variety of clothing
think I
and the
saw
impact it
Bigfoot.
makes.
Yeah, it'd be like, was that Bigfoot? Was that a red Gumby? Or was that a naked ass just hovering like in the forest? Who knows, you know? It's like the mysterious Dayz thing, you know? So yeah, I don't know. I'm just waiting for Bohemia to catch up with me on this stuff.
That's it. They're
If
behind
they really
the
want this
times.
game to be successful. You know, I mean, I want the option to like just let my ass air out from time to time, because God knows I haven't taken a shower for like 6 months.
That's it. Last shower is when I washed up on the coast.
Yeah. The only thing I've bathed in is blood in this game for the last, 2.5 years. So,
But yeah, I definitely agree.
yeah, primitive weapons, Warden's talking about.
Yeah, I definitely
That'd be
agree with
sweet,
primitive
too.
weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Bows and arrows and
Throwing
stuff like that.
S-
Throwing
Slingshot.
knives,
I've been
slingshots.
watching a lot of
Fuck,
Walking Dead, and bow and arrow.
You should
and
be able to
things
pick up
like
the
that.
pipe, get the duct tape, and make a gun out of it.
Yeah, improvised shotgun.
Yep.
Yeah,
Make a blunderbuss.
make a blunderbuss.
Yep.
There's plenty of room for variety when coming to improvised items that I think they need to really incorporate.
Oh yeah.
Our last question that we have is, of course, when it comes to the map and the map, do you guys have a favourite part of the map you like to sit and, chill at? We're actually in my favourite part, where the castle is over there. There's a little lookout that sits on the other side. And there's nothing better than I like to sit over there with a dirty Mosin and watch people go to the castle and snipe them. It's just the best scenery and the best view, and not only that, no one can see you. But when it comes to the parts of the map, do you have a favourite? Do you have a spot you like to sit and chill and just take in the scenery? Open floor.
Baronzino can be fun to.
You're a Baron
Baronzino
Zeno,
can be
right?
fun to just sit at and watch the bloodbath. Yeah, always a. It's always a death sentence going there.
Baron Zeno and it's fight at shootouts.
Bearzino.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Just for the shootouts and just the interactions that happen all at the same time.
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
What about you, Goblin?
Yeah, there's
Say,
a few spots I like.
Staria. All the way
Staria.
up there, because no one ever goes up there, and you can sit right on the edge of the mountain and look over the whole map, even though you can't see the whole thing. But
Oh, that's a
go
good
over it
spot.
and just admire what Dayz is, and just how well they've designed like the trees and everything, and just everything, and listen to the animals. Yeah, and now that they've enhanced the birds, that makes it.
That's it. Now you got a little
Yeah,
bit
it is
more
quite
environment.
beautiful up in the north area.
Yeah. Just look out over the map and just enjoy the scenery of how well they've done it. Yeah.
No, I definitely agree with that. And what about you, Goblin? What do you like to call home?
I'm pretty easy when it comes to that stuff. Like I like everything about the environment in this game. You know what I mean? Like I can't think of any game where I just stop and just look around and just like, damn, this is really cool, you know?
Yep. Catch a
And
sunset or a sunrise.
yeah, I mean, I like, you know, over on the eastern coast there, there's that fishing village that's kind of up a little ways, like north of Svet.
Yep. With the
Um,
5 or 6 boats
I
on
like
the front.
I like yeah, I like chilling on the coast there,
Mhm.
like catch the sunrise over there is real beautiful. Um, I really like the we call it the summer camp, you know, over by the dam, like
Yep.
south of that castle. I guess it'd be down that way. That area there with the lake and the dam and everything, I think is pretty awesome. Um, but I don't know. I'm a big fan of just the environmental effects in this game in general.
Mm.
I you know I was running on that winter Chernaroos,
Yep.
and that gets like gave me a whole fresh appreciation of this map. You know what I mean? Like so much potential. You know, there's so much potential for this. So
Fingers crossed they use it.
And I would like to throw,
There you go.
if we were saying their like favorite part of the map just for scenery wise,
Yep.
Black Lake up past Barentino is definitely my favorite spot.
Oh yeah, just down from northeastern airfield.
Yeah, just like that
Oh.
cliff that overlooks that whole lake, and then the little
Okay. Yep.
bar that
yeah,
sits
that's
there
nice.
as well. It's a little flat spot right next to the cliff. It's like a little flat open area that I used to have a little group. We put a little campfire there, and we just go hang out up there before we'd head over to Northwest Airfield or something like that.
Where it's
Yeah,
real
nice.
like stony. And then the
Yeah, right
lake's
there,
below.
but right next to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'd be remiss not to say that I probably my favorite place of all is the prison. That island is just near and dear to my heart.
Yep. I wish it was further out again, to be honest. I think it lost a little bit of
Yeah,
its... I know it's got accessibility
it's a-
and stuff like that, but it was an accomplishment to get out and live out on Prison Island.
Yeah, a bit more special. You'd have to cook up all those steaks and like stuff them in your pockets and your armpits and
That's
stuff,
it.
and swim out there.
Warm your
With-
butt cheeks with a
with,
steak.
Yeah, slide one in that butt flap. And
You gotta close the flap. You gotta close the
That's
flap
it.
on the
Fill the
on
flap
thing
up
before you
and
do
do
that.
him up.
duct tape it closed.
Overpacked it. Got to get the sewing needle out to sew him closed. Going to be sewed into this one, so make sure you cork it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the 20-minute
and then,
swim was
then
a
you
sense
get
of
over there and
accomplishment.
you get over there and you take out that particular steak and you hand it to your friend and you're like, we made it.
That's it. Let's eat.
Don't sniff it before you
That's
eat
it. And because they were wet and hungry, they used to just dive into it without a thought. And you just be sitting there smiling.
You never say a thing.
Nope. Until they're done. You know, that one was right between my cheeks.
Yeah. That one had a lot of mustard on it.
Yeah, 100%. All right. Well, we're at the part of our show where we let our chat pump out some questions if they'd like to pump out some questions. That's pretty much 2 hours off the run. Big shout out to everyone who's come through. Plenty of biddies being dropped, plenty of follows. But it's definitely going to be interesting over the next couple of days or at least week for them to sort out this JSON file issue and see if they can get it going and all back to normal, or they're going to revert it. As said, guys, any questions that you'd like to ask? We've got Goblin,
Yeah,
Arc,
hopefully it's
Truder,
not like
and
the VoIP
Survival
thing.
Addicts.
But best bet is just to run that loot through the normal channels and move on.
When's the Greedy Goblin Teabag Smiley server crossover happening? We tried a couple of crossovers over the last probably 12 months. We've tried a couple of crossovers. It's more of time, collaboration, working ideas together. It's very hard to put such massive geniuses together, and because the ideas just start exploding. But we'll try and one day we'll get something together. What's your favourite thing about the Dayz community? Anyone want to chime in on that one? What's your favourite thing about Dayz community?
New friendships.
New friendships.
New people to kill.
New people to kill. That's it. 100%.
I can only murder Warden so long before it gets old.
I love having an endless pool of psychos to hang out with.
Yeah, true.
Yes.
When are you going to take driving training? When Goblin brings downhill too. That's when I'll do driving training.
Yeah.
That's where I'll learn.
Okay.
We'll
put in a little course just for you.
Could you put in a driver's ed course, please?
Yeah, complete with road cones and everything.
Yeah, I want zombies that jump out that I have to hit the brakes on.
Yeah, we'll put a little entryway gate, and it'll say Greedy's driving practice area.
That's it. Driver's ed by Greedy.
Yep. But you have to, when you drive there, you have to wear a bright orange vest and a white skate helmet.
Alright, that's enough of my driver. Leave it alone. Alright, well, we're going to end the show there. I'd like to thank Gxblyn from Gxblyns Arcade, Monkey Juice or Aussie Pride from Survival Addicts, and of course Arc Trooper Echo, who we all know as Evil or Good James. Gentlemen, thank you for coming to the podcast. We appreciate yous. Of course, we're going to pump out...
Yeah, it was a good time. Thank you.
No problems at all.
Thank you.
It's good to have the people from the community down and talk about what's going on. So definitely put some insight on it. And we'll definitely be looking forward to seeing you guys out in the community.
Hell yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was another wicked podcast. I'd like to thank you all for joining us. We'll just go back. Thank you, Water, for the biddies. STCG Ninja, welcome. K Kells, thank you for the raid. Slade the Meme Man, thank you for the community.
Going out with the signature awkward silence.
No, I'm talking to what do you call it rather than you guys. You guys can cut sick, murder each other, do what you need to do. Just don't murder me.
That was the whole plan.
You can murder. You can murder me once I've done my.
I thought we were looking at each other.
That's it. You can murder me once I've done my outro. Yeah, I'll do my outro, then you can murder me. Although we might die here. Big shout out to Warden, I Ate Flash for all the biddies. Big biddy fest. Fucking fat biddies. Plenty of follows there too. We do appreciate each and every one of you for coming out. This is TPP The Peasant Podcast. It happens weekly. We have guests from the community to come around and to talk about the ins and outs of Dayz. If you'd like to be a part of it, as we always say, get across and check out the Discord. There's a whole section there. When it comes to what's happening with the Discord, what's happening with the podcast, what's happening in the community, you can get a hold of Survival Addicts through there and a hold of Gxblyns Arcade. We'll have the link for Arc Trooper Echo 7 in the video description where we put it up to YouTube. But apart from that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for joining us for another wicked podcast. We will be back next week. We have an early episode where we're going to do a one-on-one with Scale Speeder. He was supposed to turn up for this episode, but he couldn't make it. Shit. So we decided we're going to do an earlier episode of Scale Speeder 101, so definitely join us for that. And then we're continuing on with our podcast after that, where we have Brumsy, Epic, and a few other guys from the console community. Dragline just absolutely killed over in front of me. We do appreciate you guys coming out and spending your time. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for the Peasant Podcast. We will see you next week, and of course we will catch you tomorrow for our Zagoria run. Unfortunately, some of our guests could not make it, but we'll try and squeeze them in another time. Apart from that, thank you for joining us. We will see you, as I said, tomorrow, and if you haven't so already, jump across to not only the Discord but the YouTube. You'll find many of the other podcasts that we run, and it'd be good to get your feedback on that as well. Drop your information in the comments, and then we can really get this console rolling. Thank you everyone for being with us. As I said, we will catch you tomorrow. You guys have an absolutely lovely day. Once again, a big shout out to Mr. Dragline, aka Gxblyn. He's got his server Cumtowns, Prison Riot, and what's the other one? Prison Lockdown. Riot, Death Row. Thank you. Arc Trooper Echo. You can find him Arc Trooper Echo 7 on Twitch. Get in there and check him out. Absolutely wicked. And of course, Survival Addicts. Absolute brutal hardcore server. They've got their Chinaris and the Livonia. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We are out of here. We are done. Love your work.